Hello students, in this video we continue solving problems on parallel lines and transversal. Let's take our first problem. So our first problem says find values of x and y, then show that this line AB is parallel to CD. So let's start with solving what we have been given. We have been given this angle is 50 degrees and this angle is 130 degrees. Now from our axioms we will be able to solve a few problems. Like for example, we can say y is equal to 130. Why put the solution over here? Why can we say y is equal to 130 degrees? Because they are vertically opposite angles, right? And so we have got y over here. What about x? See, we can get x because we know this angle, so we can say, because of linear pair axiom, so we can say that angle x plus 50 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. So this is as per linear pair axiom. You see this line, it stands on this line, so we can say these are linear angles. We can say angle x plus 50 degrees gives us 180 degrees. So we take 50 degrees on the other side and we get angle x is equal to 130 degrees. So we've got x and y now. Now our next step is to show that AB is parallel to CD. Now you see that this line, okay, let's give this line a name. We have AB and CD. Okay, we'll give this line say L. Okay, let L be the transversal, okay, intersecting lines AB and CD. So if we say this is a transversal intersecting these two parallel lines, and we know that x is what is the value of x and y, so we can easily see, if we have a look from here, we say 1 over here we can put and 2 over here. We can say from 1 and 2 we know that x is equal, or angle x is equal to angle y, which is both are equal to 130. But angle x and angle y are alternate interior angles. These are alternate interior angles, see, between the two lines. So they are interior and they are alternate. If alternate interior angles are equal, okay, then we can say that the two lines are parallel. Okay, so L we have said is transversal intersecting AB and CD. Okay, and we say that from 1 and 2 x and y, and x and y are alternate interior angles. Okay, thus AB becomes parallel to CD. Got it? Okay, so this is a converse of what we learned, one of the axioms, which says that if the alternate interior angles are equal, then the lines that create these alternate interior angles along with the transversal intersecting them, okay, in that case the lines become parallel to each other. So that's how we get this parallel to each other. Let's go to the next problem. Our next problem says if AB is parallel to CD and also CD is parallel to EF. So AB parallel to CD and CD is also parallel to EF. We are given y is to z. Angle y is here, z is here. Y is to z is 3 in the ratio 3:7. We need to find x. Okay. So let us begin first with what we have been given. Okay, in this we have been given that AB is parallel to CD and CD is parallel to EF. So let us first straight away say that since, put solution over here, AB is parallel to CD and CD parallel to EF, both of which are given, we can say that since this is parallel to this and this is parallel to this, we can say this is parallel to this through one of our axioms. So you can say therefore AB is parallel to EF. Okay, you can say parallel lines axiom or theorem. It is a theorem. Okay, now that we have done that, so that means we can definitely have relationship between AB and EF as well, so also between their angles. So keep this as 1 and we move further. We are given y is to z in the ratio 3:7. So y is to z is equal to 3:7. So this is given. So how do we derive angle y? So we add the ratios. So 3 plus 7 gives us 10. Okay, so to find out y, what we do is, that is angle y. Either 3, since y is to 7 is 3:7. So 3 is y. 3 upon 10, the sum of the two ratios, into 180 degrees. Okay, 180 degrees, because they are linear angles. So here we will get cancels, 18 into 3, 54. So 54 degrees. And similarly we will have z as well, we can get in that ratio. So angle z we can get as 3:7, 7 upon 10 into 180 degrees. 0 cancels, 18 into 7 gives us what? 7 8s are 56, 126 degrees. Together these two should make up 180 degrees. Okay, now you have 54 degrees and 120 degrees. We have got angles y and z. Now we need to find out x. Where is x? Over here. We have found out y and z. Okay, so how do we get 126? Now there are various ways of getting angle x. Okay, different ways, as in there are two ways I can see over here that you can find. You can probably find more ways of actually getting them. Now if you have a look, we know the value of y, we know the value of x. So two ways that I can show you that you can easily get. One thing is, we have proven AB is parallel to EF. So AB is parallel to EF. So now if you have a look at, if you just remove this part out, and I'll show you how it looks like, what I'm trying to tell. Okay, and I'm just drawing A, B over here. I'm drawing E and F. Since we have already proven them parallel, we don't have to do anything. And this is your transversal. And over here comes your X, and over here comes your Z. Aren't these alternate interior angles now? We have already proven them as equal. So we can say that angle X is equal to angle Z. Why? Because they are alternate interior angles. Okay, from where? From 1. Now if you say angle X is equal to angle Z, that means we can write angle angle X, which we need, is equal to 126 degrees. We get this 2 over here. If you put, we say therefore angle X is equal to 126 degrees from we can say and 3, from 3 and 2. Got it? This is one way of getting x. The another way of getting x is if we just look at these two parallel lines. So if let's say I replace this, okay, I replace this line with C and D. In that case, y will come here. Now we know AB is AB is parallel to CD. Then these become what? Corresponding interior angles. Okay, so these become interior angles, and we know that interior angles are supplementary. So we can take easily as angle. So you can say since AB is parallel to CD, you can say angle x plus angle y is equal to 180 degrees. So interior angles are supplementary. And we know what is y. Y is 54 degrees. So if you take x 54 degrees, 180 degrees. Now if we take 54 degrees on the other side, we will get angle x is equal to 126 degrees. So same as this one. Okay. So two ways of solving the same problem. It's how you use the approach. Okay, both ways are correct. Let's move to the next question. Our next problem says if AB is parallel to CD and EF is perpendicular to CD. Perpendicular means it is 90 degrees. And angle GED is equal to 126 degrees. So I'll just mark angle GED. So it's this big angle. This is 126 degrees. Now we are asked to find out angle AGE. So that also I'll mark the things that we need to find out. Angle AGE is this one that we need to find out. Angle GEF, which means it is this angle that we need to find out. And angle FGE, okay, so we need to find out this angle as well. So both these angles we need to find out. Okay, alright, now let's begin with what we have been given. What have we are given AB is parallel to CD, EF is perpendicular, okay, and GED is equal to 126 degrees. So let's begin with angle GED. Okay, we have been given that as 126 degrees. Now angle GED actually can be split up into two, that is angle GF, what we need, plus the angle that we have been given, or we can say EF has been given as perpendicular to CD. So we can write F angle FED, okay, and both these are equal to 126. So I have split angle GED into, this whole angle has split into this GEF and FED. Right. Now FED has been given to us as 90 degrees. We'll keep angle GEF that way, and 126 degrees. Why? Because we have been given EF, since EF is perpendicular to CD. Take 90 on the other side and we get angle GEF equal to 36 degrees. So we get angle GEF equal to 36 degrees. Got it? Fine. Now that we have got angle GEF equal to we need two more angles. Okay, one of those angles is here and here. How do we get those angles? Now have a look at just this part. I'm telling you about this part. I'll just draw it separately over here, the part that I'm referring to. You have E over here, and you have D over here, and you have C over here. Now this entire angle here is 180 degrees, correct? It's a straight line. So whatever angles come form linear angles because they are all adjacent angles. So let us look at what are those different angles. Okay, and all of them will, the sum of all of them will be equal to 180 degrees. So let's say which ones are these. So we have angle, first angle is GEC. I'll put over here G and I'll put F over here. So GEC. Plus next angle is the one that we found out, angle GEF, and the third angle is what we have been given as 90 degrees, that is angle FED. So this one plus this one plus this one, all of them should be equal to 180 degrees, correct? Now angle GEC is something that we need to find out. GEF is 36 degrees and FED is how much? 90 degrees. And you have 180 degrees. Okay. So this we can say is linear angles, or sum of linear angles is 180 degrees. Next, we take this on the other side and what we'll get is angle GEC. So that comes to 126, that was over here. So if we remove 126 from 180, we get 54 degrees. Right? Now, why do we need GEC? We are not asked to find GEC. Okay, but we need GEC in order to find out these two angles, and we can definitely find out those two angles. How? I'll show you. I'll just erase this part now and I'll show you just that part so that you understand what we are trying to do over here. I'll draw this line and this line. These are the two same lines. You have AB parallel to CD over here, and I'm just going to draw this line. Sorry, this is G over here and this is E. We have found this equal to 54 degrees. What we need over here is this and this, right? Now if these two are parallel, what is BGE, the relationship between BGE and GEC? Aren't they alternate interior angles? Right? They are alternate interior angles. So let us write down what we need. We need, sorry, this is F over here, since we need F. I'll just write down over here. So that is why I just wrote it over here, maybe. But we will have to take F into account since we need FGE. But this was, I removed this part out to make it clear what I'm trying to do over here. So we will say, since AB is parallel to CD, which is given to us. Okay, this is given. We can say that angle FGE is equal to angle GEC, which is equal to 54 degrees. How? Alternate interior angles. So now we have got two angles. We were asked to find angle GEF or FEG, same thing, which we have found out over here, over here, 36 degrees. We were also asked to find out FGE, which we have got as 54 degrees. Now what remains is to get angle AGE. Now if we just take this part, what are these forming? These are forming linear angles. So we can say that angle AGE plus angle, the one that we have found right now, that is FGE, is equal to 180 degrees by linear pair action. FGE we've got at 54 degrees, so we write AGE plus 54 degrees equal to 180 degrees, and therefore when we take 54 on the other side and subtract, we get angle AGE equal to 180 minus 54 degrees, that will be 126 degrees. So done. With this we have solved the problem, and we have got what we were asked in the problem, that is angle AGE over here, angle GEF over here, and angle FGE, that is over here, because that is equal to GEC, right? So in the next video we'll solve a couple of more problems on transversals. Thank you for watching.